Welcome to this edition of SKNIS Week in Review, a program highlighting the top stories of the work of the government of St. Kitts and Nevis for the past week. Here's a look at some of the highlights for the week of October 22nd to 28th, 2021. St. Kitts and Nevis quickly establishing itself as a hub for film productions. Cruise tourism moving in a positive direction. Statistics indicate that St. Kitts and Nevis is on the right track for recovery. And Speaker Perkins proposes significant changes to make Parliament a more independent branch of government. I am your presenter, Sherima Matthew. MSR Media is preparing to begin production of its latest film, Christmas in the Caribbean, in St. Kitts, having already produced 3 films in the Twin Island Federation since it first arrived 9 months ago. Minister of Entrepreneurship, Entertainment and Talent Development, the Honorable Akila Byron Nisbet, welcomed the news and urged locals to seize on the array of benefits offered to creatives. One such area is for supporting actors in the upcoming films. As such, all actors, actresses, and aspiring actors and actresses are strongly encouraged to register with the Ministry of Entrepreneurship, Entertainment and Talent Development, located at the National ICT Center.
Your information will be kept in our database, and so whenever it is that there is filming being done, then MSR Media or whoever is doing filming in St. Kitts and Nevis would reach out to us at the ministry, and we can provide them with a plethora of persons to choose from to be extras. So as you know, as he indicated, we do have a film that will be starting shortly for which they are looking for supporting actors. So we are hoping that by Monday, persons would come out to the ministry and sign up so that you can be part of the movie as well. And so we're looking forward to more persons being interested in film and acting. We do know that we have quite a number of persons who are actors in their own rights, and so we're looking forward for persons to come forward. This is your opportunity to have an exposure into the international market that may not have been readily available before. We're trying our best in the ministry to make that available to you. And so we are hopeful that persons will take advantage of that.
Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris expressed that the government is committed to strengthening the creative industry, with films being a major cog in the wheel. The exploration of a rebate system to provide incentives for studios to film in St. Kitts and Nevis is one measure being carefully considered. MSR Media is a boutique film and television production based in York, England. The Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis is moving to establish a production expenditure rebate program to boost the film industry in the Federation, said Minister of Entertainment, Entrepreneurship and Talent Development, MOENT, the Honorable Akila Byron Nisbet, during the media event at Kittishan Hill on October 23rd, where members of MSR Media Group, along with the MOENT, launched Christmas in the Caribbean. Minister Byron Nisbet explained that the rebate program will also be available to local filmmakers, adding that it is a way to inspire homegrown filmmakers to be encouraged to produce film as well.
There is a program that we are working very closely with the Ministry of Finance to roll out as it relates to the film industry, and we are hoping to be able to introduce by next year the rebate program for filming. What that is that persons who want to be able to do filming in St. Kitts and Nevis will be able to get what we called a percentage rebate on all of their expenses that they may have locally. So whatever spend that they have locally in St. Kitts and Nevis, we will be able to provide them with a rebate, a percentage amount back for filming here in St. Kitts and Nevis. And it's one way for us to be able to attract more persons to film here in St. Kitts and Nevis. It would also give MSR Media the opportunity to continue to do as many films as they can in St. Kitts and Nevis, and we're looking forward to that.
Minister of Entertainment, Entrepreneurship and Talent Development, the Honorable Akila Byron Nisbet. Cruise tourism in St. Kitts is moving in a positive direction as authorities chart a safe balance between an outstanding visitor experience while mitigating the risk of COVID-19 to citizens, residents, and visitors. At a press conference on Wednesday, October 27, 2021, at the Royal St. Kitts Hotel, Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Lindsay Grant, gave an update on the first 2 months of the winter season that is being implemented in a phased way after a delayed start.
We have 18 ship days in November, which translates to 27 calls in November. In addition, I would like to note some key dates in November. For the first time since March the 13th, we will receive 3 ships at Port Zante. We will receive 3 ships at Port Zante on November the 16th and again on November the 23rd. On November the 4th, the 10th, the 17th, and the 19th, we will have 2 ships calling on Port Zante.
The projected passenger total for the month of November is 71,775. All passengers will be fully vaccinated. Minister Grant noted that November is looking very promising and went on to announce an even better schedule for December 2021 with 51 scheduled calls equating to 119,146 projected passengers. Government statistics are indicating that the Twin Island Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis is on the right track for recovery, as outturns of key sectors in the economy are trending positively, said Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris during his monthly press conference held at NEMA on October 28th.
Agriculture and the fisheries subsectors. These have showed some of their best performances in a long time. Crop output has increased by 15%, totaling 1.9 million pounds for the period January to September 2021 compared to the same period in 2020. The dollar value of crop output was estimated at $6.8 million at the end of September 2021. Livestock production recorded 165,800 pounds. This was up 9% over the comparative period in 2020. The estimated dollar value of livestock as at the end of September was put at $1.31 million. This year has been a relatively better year for our farmers and fishers. They benefited from lower costs for their inputs on account of our stimulus package. New initiatives such as the night markets have resulted in increased incomes for all.
Prime Minister Harris touched on the fisheries sector, indicating that it recorded a 15% increase over the same comparative period, January to September, landing 565,652 pounds of fishery products with a market value of $6.3 million. Speaker of the National Assembly, the Honorable Michael Perkins, made a presentation to ministers of the Federal Cabinet on the 4th day of the 2022 Budget Estimates Committee meetings on Monday, October 25th at the Ministry of Finance Conference Room. The premise for Speaker Perkins' presentation to the annual budgetary meetings was to propose a bold change to the operations of the parliamentary proceedings in St. Kitts and Nevis, which would involve probably a little more separation of the way Parliament functions from the executive.
Clearly, the executive, which is made up of cabinet and the rest of government, The way our system works is that it is the executive which provides budgetary support to the functioning of Parliament. That will continue for the obvious reasons. A Parliament doesn't have the means to generate its own revenue. So just like the executive provides a budget to the judiciary, the same thing applies to Parliament. But notwithstanding that, that overlap, Parliament would be seeking to become a bit more independent from the functioning of the rest of government, again for the obvious reasons. There really should be a separation of the branches, the executive, Parliament, and the judiciary. But like I've said earlier, there will always be some overlap in the way the two branches, the executive and Parliament, function.
Presentations to the Budget Estimates Committee for the Parliament are normally handled by the Clerk of the Parliament and or the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Justice and Legal Affairs. But on this occasion, the Honourable Michael Perkins said it was important for him as Speaker of the House to give his own perspective on the direction in which he believes the Parliament should move in the near future. The move to make the Parliament a more independent branch of the government comes as a consideration is also being given for the construction of a brand new parliamentary building that would see the proceedings of the National Assembly moved from government headquarters, where the current chambers is located. St. Kitts and Nevis has reaffirmed its standing as a leader in the global community by being the first independent territory in the Caribbean sub-region to achieve the World Health Organization's benchmark of having at least 40% of all countries' populations vaccinated against COVID-19 by the end of 2021. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Hazel Laws highlighted this development at the October 27 COVID-19 briefing by the National Emergency Operations Center, New York. She presented statistics from the October 26 vaccination report that showed that 72.1% of the adult population and 8.2% of the target population of children between 12 to 17 years are fully vaccinated against the deadly virus. In real terms, 22,227 persons were fully vaccinated as at Tuesday, October 26. Using figures from the last census, this represents 51.3% of the population. Dr. Laws indicated that the 40% benchmark set by the WHO was achieved around late August or early September.
The Pan American Health Organization will be acknowledging the Federation's achievement by publishing an article on the Federation's strong leadership in the vaccine rollout. So actually this is a success story. St. Kitts and Nevis is the first independent territory in the Caribbean sub-region to cross this benchmark. And this article will have a global reach.
St. Kitts and Nevis began its roll-up to roll-out vaccination campaign on February 22, 2021. 2 COVID-19 vaccines are currently being administered to individuals who volunteered to get vaccinated. These are the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine and the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine. School bullying is detrimental to children on both sides of the exchange and causes physical and emotional harm and even triggers mental illness. Glenica Richardson Govaya, a student at the Virchels High School, highlighted several ways schools can assist in preventing any form of bullying. One such approach is to create a positive school climate, as a school's success is highly dependent on the positive energy that teachers and students adapt.
And they could start from the ground up. They could start building a community where they reward them for good behavior and not just academics and sport-related skills. They should use the internet in lesson plan 2, bring the peers together as one, and they use them in a positive way. It doesn't even have to be schoolwork related, but show them that there are other things that they could do on the media that is positive, because to me on the media mostly is negative things that trends.
Tracy Watley, guidance counselor at the Keon High School, said that a lot is being done from an education standpoint to assist persons who are bullied and those bullying, as well as to prevent further bullying. Prime Minister of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris, is proud of his government's track record of support to the Nevis Island administration over the last 6 years. Successive administrations led by former Premier Vance Amory and current Premier the Honorable Mark Brantley have publicly proclaimed that Nevis has had its best support from the federal government under Team Unity.
It is important that we continue on this path and we consolidate the gains. We will do this working together. Our unity government is committed to a stronger and safer future for all our citizens and residents on the islands of St. Kitts and Nevis. We have already created historic feats just in the short of 6 years. We are the first federal government to provide regular, periodic transfer of resources to the Nevis Island administration. Over the last 6 years plus, our budgetary transfers to the NIA have exceeded over $260 million.
Moreover, Prime Minister Harris noted that the Sugar Industry Diversification Fund, SIDF, under the Team Unity government, has provided financial assistance to the NIA for the construction of the Treasury Building, the expansion of the Alexandra Hospital, and the developments at the Mondo Track. That was the SKNIS Week in Review for October 22nd to 28th. I am Sherima Matthew. See you next week as we continue to update you, the general public, on what's happening in and around the Federation.